Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here. So today we got a little bit of Cold War. We're rocking some Cold War, and I guess the reason being is that there's a little bit of news here that just dropped on XDefiant. Funny enough, XDefiant obviously got delayed. That was the big news a while back now. Got delayed till 2024. It was actually supposed to drop before MW3, and a bunch of people were, kind of pissed off because they really wanted to get their hands on this game, and as the beta went really well. For me personally, I don't think the hype has died down for me. I'm still gonna get the game right when it comes out. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it to death. To be honest, I mean, just XDefiant is kind of everything I was looking for in a shooter. But I'll get into that in a little bit. Basically, I've been playing Cold War a lot recently to prepare myself for XDefiant, just because I feel like it's the most similar COD game to XDefiant. Like in terms of movement, in terms of gunplay, time to kill, all that stuff. I feel like there's a lot of transferables. So I'm super excited about XDefiant. Before we get too thick into this video, let me know what you guys think. If you're excited for XDefiant, or if kind of the hype has died down for you and you're not really interested at this point. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for it. I've been preparing on Cold War a lot, and I've been enjoying myself. Cold War, by the way, this lobby, I mean, this lobby is just absolute cake. If you guys want just to stomp on kids, on absolute noobs, come to Cold War, man. I'm telling you, it's a classic COD experience. This game got a horrible reputation when it came out. This channel actually praised it a lot. We did a lot of sniper montages and a bunch of different things like that. We've been loving Cold War since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? I love it, but all these casuals today love the slow campy gameplay of the new CODs and stuff like that. So but anyway, getting into kind of what this video is about, I just wanted to talk about the similarities between this game and XDefiant, and kind of just overall what's been missing from COD that I'm excited about what XDefiant is bringing. Namely, to start us off, is the movement. The aerial strafe that's possible on XDefiant is just going to go so hard. Like, having that advanced movement in the air to move around is just, it just feels so clean. It almost reminds me of Apex Legends. Like, the movement's really crisp on XDefiant. In Cold War you can't quite do the same things, but I do feel very fluid. A lot of that has to do with like the slide mechanic in this game is very boosty, and you feel like you have good control of your character, for sure. I think something that's been missing in COD recently has been the movement. Like, tac sprint, I'm probably the biggest hater of tac sprint that you'll ever find in a COD game. I hate tac sprint. It does not belong. It ruins the flow of matches. It encourages people to just ADS, hold their ADS so they don't have to move. It makes it harder for rushers because you can't take on multiple engagements because you're too busy in the lifting up your gun to the sky motion. Tac sprint, like, it ruins the flow of the game. I don't think it should ever be in a game. And that's why partially I like Cold War, because it's a kind of an updated COD, but it still has the old-fashioned, regular sprint mechanic, no tac sprint, which is huge. And I think Modern Warfare 3, for example, is like, it's a little bit better with the tac sprint, but still, I just don't think it should be a mechanic in COD. I think COD's supposed to be arcadey and fast, and I just think that tac sprint slows things down. The other thing that's kind of been missing from COD here recently is, in my opinion, I think it's just too bare bones. Like, the streaks in COD nowadays just don't do anything, and they're catered to like protect the noobs, so you can only get one kill streak per life, and once you get it, you have to die to re-get your score streaks or your kill streaks. And obviously in this game here, in Cold War, you didn't have to do that. You could just recycle your score streaks. Now, the score streak system in this game is a whole different topic that I don't really want to get into. I understand the complaints with it. It's definitely not perfect, but yeah, I like Cold War's score streaks partially because it's not as bare bones. Like, you see me using the hand cannon is like, the hand cannon is almost like having a specialist. It's basically the Seraph from BO3, I think, and BO4. It's like, a hand cannon. And then also like the War Machine was kind of, War Machine was a specialist back in the day for battery. Like, so they have some score streaks involved that make the game a little bit more arcadey and specialized. And XDefiant does too. XDefiant doesn't have actual kill streaks or score streaks, but it's still very specialist oriented, where you can pick your own character and it actually will alter your abilities in game. And I think that's what COD needs, is to kind of get a little creative doing stuff like that. It's gotten very stale. It's just like the matches aren't even like for fun anymore. It's just kind of a camo grind simulator. There's no like fun to be had or variation in the gunplay. It's just point and shoot every time, and like maybe you get like a, you know, I don't know, a score streak that places mines on the ground, or like, you know, you get like a clunky chopper gunner that you get like 3 kills with because everyone's camping in a building. So it's just trash. That's why, you know, again, I like Cold War. You know, outside of the air patrol and the score streak system, which definitely was to be criticized, I think it's a pretty good, the score streaks put in work, let's put it that way. As you'll probably see later in this gameplay as this gameplay moves on. But you know, lastly, the other reason I want to encourage you guys to come to Cold War and eventually XDefiant when it drops is like the skill-based matchmaking is just so free in this game. I don't know what it is with Cold War. Maybe the player base is just small, but the skill-based is very light in this game at this point, at this stage of its life cycle. It's so, you know, as you'll see in this lobby, these kids are kind of trash. You can just stomp them. But then some games you'll run into someone who's like a god, and you, like, the variation of games is just very apparent, and I love it. It's way better than sweating your ass off every single game in MW3 to get 20 kills in a domination. Like, just super slow paced, and I think that goes back also to like obviously skill-based matchmaking, but I think also just Treyarch games are faster paced and more arcadey and has the ability to get more kills, and then also the score streaks put in work, so obviously you're going to get more kills. But also XDefiant doesn't have any skill-based matchmaking at all, so that's something I'm very excited about, and it's definitely going to translate from here in Cold War all the way to XDefiant, so I'm super excited and pumped up about that. You know, as a whole, I would say just come over to Cold War right now, guys. If you're not enjoying MW3, or, you know, I'd love to get your thoughts on MW3, if you're enjoying it at all, or, you know, what you're looking forward to next year in gaming. I definitely encourage you to come over to Cold War though right now, because it's just such a fun place to be. The games are fun. You know, you can actually, there's a lot of progression. The camos are sick in this game. Like this diamond camo on my Bullfrog, it looks so sick, and on my Marshals as well. Like, it's awesome. And then the no skill-based matchmaking. I mean, why would you sweat for free in these MW3 tournaments when you can come here and just have a bunch of fun trouncing noobs all day? It's perfect. And you know, if you guys are like me and you're looking for XDefiant, the skills are going to translate a lot better. It's a lot more fast-paced. It's a lot more arcadey. So I definitely encourage you to get over here, get on Cold War, let's revive this game. I mean, it's got a pretty strong player base. I'm not waiting very long to join any games at any point. The maps are great. I think this map here is like, this is an original map, actually a ground war map in Cold War, and like, it plays beautifully. Like, they cut the map in half so you don't have to play the whole ground war map, and it just plays really well. Like, this is probably one of the worst maps in the game too. Like, they have slums, they have raid, they have standoff, they have nuketown, they have hijacked even. Like, all the maps of this game are fire. I just don't get why this game got so much hate. And I know I'm kind of all over the place in this video, guys, kind of talking about 3 different games: XDefiant, Cold War, MW3, like all these different games, but the reality is I'm kind of just trying to appeal to those people who like the more arcadey experience, and I'm trying to you know, bring that out of people and resonate on that department, because that's what I am. I'm someone who likes the fast pace, who likes to rush. I don't like to sit back and just ADS like a turret all game long, and I feel like the Infinity Ward and the Sledgehammer CODs just encourage that type of playstyle. So if you're like me, let me know in the comments section. I really don't have much more for this video, but regardless, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, guys. And definitely subscribe if you enjoyed, and let me know in the comments below, you know, if you agree. Are you excited for XDefiant to come out? Are you going to come back on Cold War? I mean, just let me know, guys, and I appreciate it. Peace.